So, before we dig into this article, I just want to go over some of the events and platform bans that have happened in the past with Onision, okay? Because I think it's pretty detrimental that we kind of review what has happened in the past so that we can get a better outlook on what is happening right now as we speak. So we all should know, if we've been keeping up, we all should know about Onision being banned from the 2012 VidCon due to him saying that the Jurgensen girl had slept with 20 people before getting with him. So therefore she was a slirt and therefore she could not be raped. And it's just like, okay, one strike. And we also too know in November of 2019, Onision was banned from the Patreon platform for giving out another YouTube creator's phone number. That YouTube creator was actually a young woman who had alleged that she was being groomed by Onision. So there was a whole issue with that, okay? We remember him going on his new website around that time, also creating a video while he was pouring kombucha all over himself. Hello. Also in 2019, there were allegations of other child grooming and abuse. His spouse played a part in the child grooming allegations, as well as it was aforementioned by Webb also made allegations accusing Jackson and his girlfriend at the time of having her being chained to a wall in a basement for a week with a sign hanging around her neck saying that she was sorry for lying, allegedly. Wow, you guys. We also know about other things that have happened with Onision, not necessarily related to grooming, but just child safety, period. In early 2020, a police report detailing an incident from September 2019 was leaked in which Jackson's 2-year-old daughter, Jackson meaning Onision, 2-year-old daughter had fallen from Jackson's second-story window onto their concrete driveway. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? A 2-year-old daughter falling from a second-story window onto the concrete, onto the driveway. Wow. The reporters further state, however, that the incident was deemed accidental and judged insufficient for Child Protective Services to get involved. Police reported the child is recovering well. Wow. Anywho, so we know that all these things have happened to lead us up to now. So clearly, you guys, we can see and we can gauge and we can judge how this guy acts around his children, around other spouses, around other YouTubers. We can already look and see what he's been in the past. We can already kind of gauge what type of person this is. No shade, no tea. I want to speed up to this whole Chris Hansen thing because the Chris Hansen show on Discovery Plus is actually the show that supposedly got Onision taken down. We know about all of the alleges that he has had when it comes to his channels, all 3 of his channels actually. I guess the docu-series or the web series for Discovery Plus with Chris Hansen was the nail in the coffin, supposedly. This was the show or the web series that shined all the light on what Onision was doing. Now, it's no shade. I do think that Chris Hansen was the perfect guy to do this in the way that they did it, because we do know Chris Hansen from back in the day from How to Catch a Predator. We know how that thing was kind of set up, where you would have this young girl or a young boy. They would get on, they would pretend that they were online all the while. It was an officer or someone like that talking to the predator on the other end. And, you know, the predator would get the address to come to a house. The predator would show up at a house and boom, okay, it was Chris Hansen and the whole camera team, honey. The whole team was there to get your reaction, you know, to see what you were going to say. Some guys tried to run. Some guys started crying and fell out right there in the kitchen with Chris Hansen right in front of them. So we know how that whole thing kind of worked. And I think that, like I said, I think that Chris Hansen was the best guy to do this and how they did it. Not to mention it launched his whole like YouTube online live stream career now. I mean, but it was great. My thing here is YouTube played a big responsibility in this, and I think Chris Hansen did as well. I think they kind of let this thing go on for way too long. Of course, there was a coin involved when we talk about live streams and when we talk about views and when we talk about making like a docu-series out of this and having like episodes. We're talking about, letting this thing play out. I do have to say, like, when it comes to YouTube's responsibility and their place in all of this, I do think the platform let him get away with a lot so that they could make money. I mean, it's no shade, no tea. As soon as you found out about the first allegation, as soon as the first court documents were dropped, as soon as you had that first young girl or that first woman go to authorities and say, I was groomed and I was abused and I was this and I was that, all filming should have been stopped, and for Chris Hansen to continue everything in the way that he did, because you do have a split decision here. You have some people blaming Chris Hansen, and then you have some people, blaming YouTube. And all the while, everybody is seeing how Onision has acted within all of this. Everybody is getting information on all the alleged things that he's been involved in. And it's just like his fan base is ride or die, okay? I got my story, the actual article and the actual story, I got it from TubeBuddy. And I was like, wow, if TubeBuddy is reporting this, this is pretty big. So I do want to talk about this for a little bit. And also, too, I think that TubeBuddy is exclusively reporting this because he was, Onision, was a humongous, ginormous YouTube creator with having close to 2 million and 1 million subscribers on each of his platforms. So it's just like, oh, okay, yeah. No wonder they're covering this on TubeBuddy. Kablam yam, you guys. Okay, it says here, YouTube removes Onision from partner program, demonetizes his channel over child safety concerns. On January 20th, 2021, YouTube has removed Onision from the platform program and demonetized all 3 of his channels due to concerns about his off-platform behavior with minors. It tells TubeFiller. The decision comes one day after Discovery Plus released the final episode of a 3-part docuseries about the YouTuber and allegations of abuse he's facing from multiple women. Ooh. Probably facing it from children and people that can't even talk or form words all the way. Including one who claims he and his spouse groomed her when she was a child under their temporary guardianship. Oh, this was what I was reading to you guys about earlier when I was referencing the last name Webb. She was the girl that said that she was kept in a basement and had the words, had a sign hanging around her neck saying, "I'm sorry for lying." OMG. Called Onision in Real Life, the series offers interviews with alleged victims, professional investigators, and former To Catch a Predator host Chris Hansen, who's been looking into the allegations since 2019. If you've been looking into the allegations since 2019, something should have been drummed up faster than this with everybody that has come forward about Onision. I'm just saying. That's just a small sidebar. YouTube says it took action because Onision violated the partner program creator responsibility guidelines. Oh, God, YouTube. How long has YouTube had their eyes on this guy's channel and seen the things that he's talked about, okay, and seen some of the videos that he has posted? I mean, YouTube got access to all of this, and not only that, there's communities. There are cancel culture communities dedicated to Onision that have been trying to get his ass canceled since day one. Now YouTube pulls the plug after the docu-series. Yeah, that's because you guys made all the money that you could have made from this whole thing, and now the plug has to be pulled. Oh my God. These mandate that partners not engage in behavior, either on or off platform, that can cause widespread harm to the YouTube community and potentially damage the trust among creators, users, and advertisers. So YouTube is pretty much saying here that he was doing crazy stuff off camera, crazy stuff on camera, and it was pretty much damaging the YouTube brand. This is what I get from all of that it was damaging the YouTube brand and they could no longer go along with how he was acting. So YouTube decides to demonetize all 3 channels, meaning he could still post videos. And I'm guessing the content could be whatever content he wanted it to be, now that, you know, he was not going to be getting monetized from these videos, meaning, you know, you can't make any money from these videos. So hell, you know, do what you want to do, but you're not going to be making any money from these videos. I think the reason why he just said forget it, you know, he's got all these channels with millions and millions of subscribers, and he's just like, no, if I can't get paid from YouTube, then what's the point of me doing all of this? I would think that his subscribers would donate to him in other ways. He could still have his YouTube and still, you know, ask his viewers to donate via Cash App or something like that. But that channel got snatched, honey. It says, according to the guidelines, several violations can result in removal from YPP and demonetization. Several violations can include intending to cause malicious harm to others, participating in abuse or violence. YouTube tells Tubefiller Onision's violations were related to child safety. There's a response tweet from YouTube to Deaf Noodles, honey. After careful review, we can confirm this creator's channel has been suspended from YouTube Partner Program indefinitely for violating our creator responsibility policies. Yikes. If you're wondering why YouTube chooses to demonetize Onision rather than terminate his channel, it's because the platform has a long-standing policy of not banning creators unless they are convicted on criminal charges and their content is closely related to their crimes. No charges have been filed against Onision. Okay, and see, you guys, after the demonetization took effect, Onision uploaded a final bizarre video to announce his quitting YouTube. And this is why I say, you guys, that all of this could have been a ploy to get more coins and a ploy to get more money, because here they say he has a long-standing policy, and although he has not been convicted of any crimes yet, YouTube will only terminate the page, terminate the channel, when one has been convicted on criminal charges. So with all of this that's going on, and with all of this scandal, with all the allegations, and like I said, with all of this scandal, and you have all of these children and women coming forward, apparently, why has not he been convicted? Why has he not, gone to jail? Why have we not heard anything about a bail or anything like that? If we have all these allegations and everything has been investigated. So supposedly, also too, we have a Discovery Plus, honey, docuseries, 3-part docuseries that everybody can look at and view now to see. If there was no truth in any of this, one, I don't think YouTube would have taken the huge step to demonetize all 3 of his channels, nor do I think Onision himself would have taken the huge step to remove, his channel. I would think he would fight at this tooth and nail if he was telling the truth, and he'd never done anything. Also, too, you have an entire platform. You have an entire following, okay? You had 3 channels that you could potentially still upload videos on. I would plead my case. Hello. I would fight tooth and nail uploading videos every day, talking about how YouTube is trash, talking about how Chris Hansen is trash, and all of it was a lie, and all of the things that were alleged against me supposedly were not true. And I would have pulled receipts, honey. And I would have put out text messages, and I would have put out other video and other pictures and everything just to prove my innocence. But when I think about Onision Jackson getting with other YouTubers and having other people, other children be in his care, I do think about NDAs, the non-disclosure agreements, and I also think about just how him and his spouse went about getting guardianship of other children and or other family members. Hell, we have no idea. There could have been more than one. We just don't know about all of them. Hopefully more stuff will come to light as this whole thing gets investigated via Chris Hansen, via other agencies, okay, via YouTube, hopefully doing further investigation on everything that's going on here, especially since they got rid of the channel. But hip hip hooray. And it's absolutely no shade, it's absolutely no tea. I'm just throwing my 2 cents in here. Shouldn't nobody get away with anything like this? It's like child grooming, sex trafficking, fondling little kids, being a pedo, anything like that. I don't understand the mindset of these people. I do not understand the pathology. I don't understand how a child could turn you on or get you revved up or anything. I just have to preference and put out there, a child can't do nothing for me. Oh, God. Child can't do nothing for me. Child can't pay my bills. A child can't turn me on. I'm pretty sure a lot of other women that watch my channel and or a lot of other followers, subscribers can agree with me. We want something grown, honey. We want something fully grown. When I say this, I ain't no shade. No kids shouldn't be watching my videos anyway. But we want a grown full piece of meat, ain't it? Come on here. We want a slab of meat on that plate. Let me stop. But it's just the real deal truth. I don't understand the psychology and the pathology of these people with these kids and having these fetishes and all of this other stuff. It's just like, child, honey, close your eyes and meditate and pretend you're a child, honey. Please. We don't need no real children up in the mix. Do you know what it does to a child's brain? Just to have a child to go through something like that. Oh my gosh. I can't even take it. Anyway, you guys, leave your thoughts, comments, and suggestions in the comment section below. As I stated, this was not, a video to give you tea that you already didn't know. I just wanted to deliver it as such, only because I thought this was a hot topic. Like I said, you didn't really have a lot of news stations, a lot of news broadcasting stations talking about what was going on here. But in the same token, the YouTube community is huge, okay? And when I saw that TubeBuddy had produced an article about this via Tube Filler, their online article news source, I was just like, child, this is crazy. Onision, or whatever you want to call it, child, has been canceled. And rightfully so. Because you don't go around grooming no children, honey. Period. You want to groom some kids? How about you take a couple $1,000, a couple $1 million and just hand out money to children in Africa, okay, in Sierra Leone, in the U.S., right here in Chicago, Texas, Florida, okay, Australia. Feed the poor, give poor people. Why don't you go around and groom some poor people and give some homeless people some coins, okay, and groom them in a different way, okay? How about you do that instead of going around and trying to groom kids to be your fucking slaves, allegedly. But we're seeing it with our own eyes. Hope you guys enjoyed. Love you guys. Hope you guys are taking care and staying safe. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, okay? Don't forget to hit that bell notification to be notified on when I upload more content such as this. I'll see you guys in the next one.